Hello, Goddess, and welcome to Twin Flame Tuesday for this week. My name is Rachelle Richard, and here at Empowerment Experiences, we look for and find our power all along this, which is our self-love empowerment journey. And for so many of us, we have found ourselves to be on a healing Twin Flames journey as well. And there's so much healing that is being asked of us. That's why so many of us find ourselves with our counterparts in karmic situations, because we all do have this karma that we have to work through. And if it's something that would be toxic, thus detrimental to the connection, we have to be in our own energetic spaces so that we can, one, complete those karmic cycles independently. That is our own karmic lessons, that's our own karmic energy, right? And number two, there was a number two. It's really about that karmic energy. It's also recognizing, that's it, I knew there was a number two, that you have to be the one to step into your power. Your divine masculine cannot come in and save you. We each have to independently be strong and stable and firm and anchored in each our own power. It's only our egos that have this attachment to our counterpart. From the connection space, we surrender, we let go, we know that we're connected, we know that no matter what the physical realm looks like, we are already in union with our counterparts. We've just come here into this physical world for a reason. We came down here with a mission. And we made contracts with each other and with other souls to achieve all of this learning, all of this expansion, all of this growth, all of this shift, to achieve this mission that we've come to fulfill. And when we get stuck in that place of him, or her, whichever embodiment your divine masculine is in, that what we end up doing is we are giving our power away to them. And as a result, that is actually distracting from our mission. We end up hemorrhaging energy. Been there, done that, sister? More than once in my own twin flame journey. And it's really, again, using that twin flame mirror to see where my counterpart is and what decisions he's making in my life, to show me the same patterns and programs that I have in me, and go, oh, geez, no wonder he has said yes to such a painful karmic path. Because he has. It's a complete and total prison. And truth be told, that is a lot of what my mind likes to say. This is a prison planet, so it likes to amplify that. We have come here to liberate these souls here in this world, to liberate humanity from this oppressive system that has been created, that's a complete and total detriment to the soul, to the human spirit. We've come here to rise and thrive, to step into our power and rise and thrive in each our own right and lead by example. And again, that comes back to, we, each of us, have to recognize that anything in our lives to which we give our power, that then has power over us. And this definitely includes your divine masculine. I had to catch my breath there, because I know I definitely needed to hear that. It's been challenging. I know for me, I've been doing that inner child work and having revelations as to why, certain narratives are coming up, because so often we say, oh, but I swear I learned this. Well, remember, it's a spiral. we come back around, and for every layer that we rise up, we actually go deeper, right? We're actually, really, and that's what I've been mentioning recently, is how shit from your life, from old versions of yourself, even vicariously through, soul family or through people that period, you're kind of going, wow, that was like a college day kind of experience. I felt like I was in college again. That was so weird. Like, excuse me. Still, and that's the thing with the allergies and the, oh my goodness, I tell you what. Oh, well, looky there. Already, I barely start shuffling the deck. And it's to recognize that you are abundant. And the only way that abundance can flow to you is by you knowing in this abundance. That then sets your point of attraction to it. This is doing that work. Getting out of your own way, reframing any of these beliefs that block what you desire. Because here's the thing, Goddess, if you have any blocks that are blocking anything else that you desire outside of your twin flame, then that is going to bleed into your twin flame connection, right? You are here to, again, step into your power. Not wait for him, not live your life stuck. Not fully living it because you don't know what's going to happen. Well, that's the point. We don't know what's going to happen because that's where the magic and miracles happen, is in the unknown. It's only our ego that has this need to know everything. Even mine's been bugging me lately. Just like, can we have a break, please? That's what meditation's for, right? So, anchoring into that abundance, that's what you're being asked to do right now, Goddess. Being asked to allow yourself to see the abundance in your world, things you can look at that are going to counteract this lack of having your counterpart in your life, this lack of anything else that you desire. You've got to focus on the things that conjure feelings of abundance within you, because that is your point of attraction. So if your counterpart is choosing karmic cycles, it's because you subconsciously still have those karmic cycles, especially, and I feel this very much so, lack is such a prevalent pattern for much of humanity, just because of what we've been taught about money and how we've not been taught about energy and everything being energy. And that's the thing with the twin flame connection, this twin flame dynamic, is the energetic connection, that soul connection. When you are anchored in the connection, there is no lack. There is no lack. You're already with your divine masculine. You're already living your abundant dreams. But you're the one that has to allow for it. You're the one that has to allow yourself to see that there is hope. There's always hope. There's no such thing as hopeless if you believe. And I have to share the other day I was having a conversation with my pretty kitty girl, and she is one of those cats that we have conversations, we'll back and forth, and the subject came up about her food, because I am intuitive, of course, and she's ready for a different food. She's bored with this one and she wants something different. And so we were talking about it, and because I asked her, and I said, okay, well, here's the deal though. We have 2 bags of the old food still. So, and yeah, because mommy forgot to cancel the subscription, we have 2 bags of food. And I told her, so it's not going to be today. You can have new food, just not today. And when I said that to her, I went, oh. I needed that reminder, and I bet you do too, Goddess, because that's why it's coming up, is that what you desire, you can have it, just not today. It's not, things are not in alignment right this second, And it's the ego that's obsessed with that. I need it now, 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 time, tick tock, time is running out, I need it now. That's all ego. All right? And all of that releasing comes from going within. It's practicing that detachment. Oh, that's why I'm so stoked about my new 17-day, like you'll get the Twin Flame Confirmation Empowerment Checklist. I like to say empowerment, but it's Twin Flame Confirmation Checklist that I created. And it's a 17-day self-love empowerment challenge, of course, sprinkled with some twin flame empowerment throughout it. But 17 days, and it's all divinely guided, and it's coming. I was up until after midnight last night working on it, because that's kind of my peak hours of creativity is in like the evening hours, and I'll get in a zone and things start flowing. And I'm so stoked about this, because you better believe detachment is definitely included in this challenge. In fact, there's 2 days. There's 2 days where we touch on detachment, and we're actually going to be doing a special masterclass on detachment. It was originally going to be tomorrow evening. I am making the decision. We're going to push it back to next Tuesday, most likely, a regularly scheduled Empowered with Rachelle session. I had said last week for this week, thinking this week was next week. So it's these last, this whole time thing, I'm becoming so detached from the time that sometimes again, it's like, what's today? What? When? Who? Where? Yeah, right? But that's where you want to be, is letting go, detaching. Because that's where this hope, this positivity expands, because you're not trying to control something that you don't have power over. That again is you giving your power away to something outside of you, which then in turn, whatever that is, has power over you. Is it time? Then practice presence more. Get out of your head, because if you're obsessed with time, it's because you're in your head, and boom, well, there you go. Practice presence. Ground yourself, right? Because you're in your head. And that's what grounding, that's the purpose grounding serves, is to pull you out of your head and back down into your connection with all that is. So take that time to ground yourself. Breath work, that's what I'm so stoked. There's meditation, there's breath work, there's detachment, there's self-love mirror work, there's twin flame mirror work, there's forgiveness, of course, forgiveness. There's raising your vibration. Oh my gosh, this is the greatest, and we say in in the business lingo, greatest build out, right? Build out of an automation, because they'll come to you automatically once you sign up, and we're gonna all do this together in my Telegram group, and oh, exciting! I'm so stoked. I'm really so stoked. And that's what you do, just like we were talking for Super Science Sunday, is you find your passion. You find the things that you feel impassioned about, and you focus on those. It doesn't mean you're going to forget your divine masculine. You can't. You can't. Okay? You won't. You won't forget him. But that's the point, is when you surrender to the journey, when you trust the journey, you can let go of trying to control what it looks like, and trust that I know mine and my twin flames story is far from over. I know it's far from over, even though my ego right now is working overtime to dim my light so much and cause me to shrink so much and say, well, it's all over. It's all over. We lost. He settled because he felt he had no choice, and I had to really look at myself and go, ooh, yeah, I have done that so much in my life. And then after these last almost 2 years, that has become so amplified. And I know that's why he felt he had to also. The pressures. And I have, incredibly so, more, in particular, divine feminines reaching out to me that are in that trap over there in India of forced marriage. They're not allowed to marry who they love. They have to marry who their parents choose, so that they can maintain their social status. Talk about ego. Talk about ego. and they just have to suck it up, buttercup. So it's infuriating, it's devastating, it's heartbreaking to imagine being in that kind of prison. Just because something is a tradition doesn't mean it's right or good. It just is. And that's another reason why we're here in this world, is to really look at all this bullshit, these belief systems, this bullshit that has been handed down through generation after generation. It's why we're here healing generational curses, because you better believe that forced arranged marriages, that's a generational curse. That is a generational curse. To say you are not allowed to follow your heart, you have to follow your ego. You can't make your soul choice. It's so it's dumbfounding to me. It's flabbergasting. I love the word flabbergasting. I digress though. It's, again, pivoting over to where your power is. And I know for me that I look at what I've clawed my life out, what I've clawed myself out of, what my life once was as a former pimped out, drug addicted prostitute. You know, I even was saying to myself, I'd love to create an underground railroad to get these people out of these situations. I would love to do that. So you do have a choice. You can choose freedom. You don't have to choose the prison. You don't have to stay in the prison. No. Anyway, the same can be said about the prison of our own mind, because that's what that is in anybody's lives, not just in this, because I watched over these last 3 years my twin flame love get beat down and beat down and beat down into submission to fit into this box. He'd had these big dreams, and then they had to be squashed because they didn't fit with what his parents wanted for him. Well, the same can be said about our egos. That our ego, because this is what this comes from, the parents are so worried about their social status and pleasing the outside world that it doesn't matter about these poor individuals' inside worlds. And our egos will do that same thing. They will force us into a mental prison, convince us that this is our only choice, force us to settle with something that is not what we want, but feel it's the only thing we can have, because we're not worthy of what we want. I remember when my love said to me, not everybody is born under a lucky star. And that broke my heart. I said, my love, no, everybody can choose freedom for themselves. You just have to be willing to do what it takes. But fear, and right now fear is the #1 frequency on this planet right now. Fear. There is no love in fear. And this arrangement, all of these things, they come from that fear space, fear of being dejected. And that's what he had said to me once. If I don't do what my parents want, my society will not accept me anymore. I'm just like, wow. Goddess, you are here to step into your power and be the fullest expression of you, to not let any ego aspect of this realm dim your light and tell you you are not allowed to shine, that you are not allowed to live life on your terms, to follow where your soul calls you. Because it is about expansion. It is, but that means that you've got to break out of that comfort zone of what's familiar. This is just the way it's done. It's tradition. It's what we do. I've heard people say that, well, at least in India, the divorce rate is like nothing because, and I'm going, so yeah, so you're trapped in that. You get to, okay. Excuse me, I need to hit pause. Anyway, there we go. But it is about expansion. And that's where we are, Goddess, is being able to look and see what you're being shown of how you may be settling in your own life. Instead of saying, no, I deserve this freedom, abundance. These are my birthrights. Each and every one of us are sovereign beings. And any societal stipulation that is oppressive, because it's systemic oppression globally, it's the entire system that is created to keep all of humanity oppressed. And each and every person who breaks through, they're the ones who experience that abundant life, because they've broken out of what we've been programmed where we have to stay. This ego programming that says you need to stay in this box. And that's the same as what's coming to me as the relationships, the concept of relationships, right? Even the concept of marriage, especially like, again, that's it. You're trapped in that. You don't get to experience any other aspect of life. You have to get married, have kids, do your job. That's it. That's your life. And you have come here to spread your wings and fly. All of us, every soul on this planet, especially during this time right now, we are the resistance. There are so many protests happening around the world, but you won't hear that on the mainstream media because that is the system of oppression. The mainstream media is the propaganda arm of it all. And after watching all of this in my country, because I know I have those of you in other countries that I am so blessed to connect with, watching the manipulation and division in my country, knowing that the use of propaganda was made legal by one of our presidents back in, what year was it? 2006, 2008, somewhere in there. Before then, no, because Obama he was elected in 2008. So Obama was the one who wrote into a bill that propaganda can be used on the American people. It's on an executive order. And that's the challenge where we all are, is the truth is bubbling to the surface. It's just there are so many who, again, are so afraid to see it because it's outside of what has been done forever. That's outside of the comfort zone. It's outside of what is familiar. But that's the point, Goddess, is you do not change anything in this world, in yourself, in your life, unless you first change it in yourself, unless you first realize that you have something that needs to be changed, that this isn't working, so something different must be done. And that means to go against the grain. Humanity is done with being forced to stay in a little box. This is what is crumbling right now, is this system of oppression. That's why things don't make sense right now. It's like, what? Okay, got it. Oh, apologies. Goddess had to catch my nose there. Sinuses, good time. Allergies. Oh my goodness. But this is why we're here, is to learn, grow, expand, and ascend. We're not going to get different results if we continue to do the same thing. And this is why I know is if you don't make the change in your life, most likely by the time your children reach the same age that you are now, you're going to continue to perpetuate the same thing, because by then you're not running off of new programming. You're running off of programs that you have taken in. By the time you're 35, Dr. Joe Dispenza says, and he's like a neuroscientist dude, Dr. Joe Dispenza says that by the time you're 35, you are operating off of programs. You're not even really thinking your own thoughts anymore. You are operating from programming, what you've been taught to believe. And this is why it can be so challenging to break free from that, to liberate yourself from the prison of the own mind, of your own mind. I mean, the own mind, of your own mind. Is that fear of being judged, being rejected, being ostracized. The ego is all fear. It's all consuming. All right. Whoa. Well, this card obviously had to make itself very powerfully known, because in the realm of possibility, all things are possible. They are. And all we've got to do is switch those timelines, align with it, and trust that, just like I told my pretty girl, Chanel Indira, that you can have the new food, just not today. Just not today. You just keep doing that work, focusing on you, focusing on your passion, getting aligned with what you desire. Even holding space for yourself when you're purging through some very bumpy places. Because I know for me, I have been. The whole thing of not getting what I want, I want to share with you what this can look like for those who may be new to, exploring that inner child aspect of yourself, exploring the programs in your mind. So it really hit me last night, because of what has happened is I'm really being tested about RV and India and world travel right now, big time. Because right now, technically, I won't take the poison poke, so I'm basically being told I'm not allowed to go anywhere then. For something that has a survival rate of 99%, which if you look at the number on, it's very challenging, very challenging. Excuse me. See, that's the biggest trigger of this. So it's been amplifying the Rachelle doesn't get what she wants, and the stop asking me what I want universe, because you're just not going to give it to me anyway. Right? That is what I'm working through right now, and what's being amplified, and what my ego is working overtime to try to tell me is that, look, see, I told you, you don't get what you want. Universe gonna ask you what you want just so it can take it away. And it hit me as I was actually composing one of the days for this challenge, and I went, oh my gosh. I know the biggest, most poignant time in my life, and it wasn't, I can't recall up to the age of 5, because it's usually a core belief there, but one of the biggest, most solidifying times of my life, where I was asked what I wanted, but given something completely opposite. And that was when my mother asked me what I wanted on my wall in my room, in the log home they were building when I was 13 to 14. We moved in when I was 14. And my parents, my dad in particular, my dad mostly, did the majority of the build. Of course, outsourced things like electrical and plumbing and things like that. But he did it. My dad, he's a good man. And I remember when Peggy, my mother, had said, oh, I'm so excited, I got your room's all done. And I was so excited, because I was somewhat disappointed at first. I had said I would paint it. I just wanted a paint. I just wanted a mauve pink. It was a color called Angie and Rose. I will forever remember that name. And I wasn't allowed to paint it. And I was like, well, I'm willing to help. I'm willing to do this labor and paint this room myself. However, no. I walked into that room and I felt so suffocated. I felt like my voice didn't matter at all. I mean, I'd already been feeling that. My mother is my kryptonite. Very much so. She's very toxic to me. And I stood there, and now, while I love unicorns, clearly I love unicorns, Pegasus in particular. Pegasus is my baby. It was pastel pink on the top half. The bottom half was white wallpaper with pastel pink ribbons. Now, mind you, I'm 14. Ribbons. And the connecting portion, which was a border between the pastel pink paint top half and the wallpaper bottom half, was pastel colored unicorns, which is fine. And, you know, again, unicorn, cool. But at the time, I wasn't into just unicorns. And pastel pink carpet. And I just remember standing there thinking to myself, I'm 14, not 4. And that's something that my mother really wanted for so long. She never wanted any of us to grow up and to be our own selves. She wanted to always have that power over who we were, what our lives looked like. And that's that sort of thing. So that experience there for me is one of those it's the thing that right when you anchor something, right, when you put a post, you know, in the ground, and that was it, is of me saying, why would you ask me what I wanted then if you were never going to give me what I wanted? Oh. So that is what you get to do, Goddess, is you look at some of the things that that are coming out of you, that you're thinking about, that you're saying, and you allow yourself to reflect upon your journey and say, when in my life, when did this happen in my early life? Because that was I was already being bullied at school. I was hating myself. I was already. So I got it both at school and at home. I had the sandwich life. And it was stale white bread that was the bun, that was the bread, I'm telling you. With dried cheese in the middle, I'm telling you. No mayo. Anyway, I digress. So, but that right there, it's going, wow, no wonder right now I'm sitting here saying, I don't get what I want. Why would you ask me what I want if you're not going to give me what I want? It's because it comes back then. It's not necessarily the, I just didn't get what I want. It was the, I was asked, what do I want? And then I still wasn't given it. So it's really being able to reflect on those things. And that's what you're being asked to do right now, Goddess, is to allow yourself to see, and then to do that healing work around that, to say, oh, in that circumstance, yeah, someone else operating from her ego and needing to control as many aspects of my life that she could. It was always using me to build herself up, make herself feel better. Yeah. But just keep doing that healing work, Goddess. And that's the challenge when it comes to these generational curses, this generational energy that continues, is we have to be the ones to say, no, it ends with me and I am the change. And that means that you actually break out of it. You do it different. Or else different will never come to be. And this is exactly what comes of this, is this deep, deep transformation. This deep transformation is that expansion. Because as you transform, you expand. You grow into more of who you truly are. Because of course you can have what you want. It's just how this world works. The 3D, very dense physical realm, excuse me, it takes a moment for things to get into alignment, because it's like we're making our way through sludge. in the third dimension. Sludge, molasses, cold molasses at that, okay? And this is why that self-love factor is so imperative. Because when you are able to see that, wait a minute, just because it hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean it's never going to happen. It just means I'm being strengthened for when it happens. It just means things need to be rearranged in order for it to be aligned with it happening. But the ego goes straight into, its wound. But that's when you, again, on this healing twin flames journey, that's when you get to say, oh, I see you. I see you. And so very much, I know for me, it's taking that suffocated 14-year-old version of myself and saying, you know what do you want? And let's go get that. I want a frost. That's what just hit me. I want a frost gelato. Imported Italian ingredients. I'm an okay ice cream fan because too much can get to my gut, but gelato, oh, I could probably eat an entire pint or half gallon of that stuff and it wouldn't upset my stomach, because gelato is way better, way healthier for you than regular ice cream. Anywho, that's why I'm like, that would just make life feel good. So, boom, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? I'm going to get a frost at some point. But remember, Super Sign Sunday was about that passion part. That's what you're being asked to, Goddess. This is how we pull ourselves out of this, I don't get what I want, it'll never work out, we'll never be together, he's making these other choices, because you see, it's all connected. It's all interwoven. Asking what I want, wanting to be with him, wanting this vision, but then all of a sudden being told, no, you can't have it. It's like, but just right now, because he's got things to learn and I've got more power to reclaim in my own journey. And that means to, again, be focusing on what lights you up. What is your soul calling you to do? Say, hey, let's check this out. Hey, let's explore this. Hey, what's this like? Or, hey, oh my gosh, I love doing that. Let's go do more of that. I want more of that in my life. So I'm going to allow for more of that in my life. That is what it is to answer that call. Again, this transformation journey, this expansion, this transformative expansion journey is about you coming more and more into union with yourself, reuniting with who and what you truly are. Not this bullshit propaganda programming, limiting ego, comfort zone crap. That its objective is to fit in. Its objective is to be like everybody else because it doesn't want to stick out. It doesn't want to be judged. It doesn't want to be ostracized from society for not following the rules in the sense of choosing to enter into a prison sentence, a life sentence of a prison with someone you don't want to be with. So mind-boggling to me. So answer the call, say yes. Just like on Sunday, it's been about saying yes to you, saying yes to what you desire, saying yes, you are allowed to get what you want. That wasn't fully in your control. Like for me, it's looking and saying, it wasn't in my control. What happened? My mother took, and so where did I eventually find my power? After I was having to look at those walls every single day, being reminded that I was asked what I wanted, but denied and given something completely different. That what I wanted didn't matter. So what did I do? I bought rolls of foil and I put foil over that wall. And I went and I got all my Teen Beat and my Teen Bop and all my cute boy magazines, and I started cutting and collaging. And that's what I did for my room. That was pretty much what I was gonna do anyway, was cover up the walls. That's why I just wanted it painted. So, but I was able to take it a whole nother step further and literally cover the walls and then redecorate. So, because that was how I was able to mother myself and give myself something that I could have, something that I could feel was my own, that was my creation. And so this comes up again today, Goddess, so that you are really, really tuning in to mothering yourself, looking at all the ways that you have asked for what you wanted, but you felt you couldn't have it. All the things that you felt were lacking in your life, the love, the support, the understanding. You've got to be your own mother. In order for us to truly change and integrate these changes, we must then practice these. We must act upon them. We must implement these changes, or else nothing changes. True change begins when we choose to truly change, and that means to make those changes within yourself. That is what transformation is about. So, how can you mother yourself? One of my favorite questions that I always like to remind you, goddesses, of is this: what is the most loving thing that I can do for myself in this moment? Or about this, or whatever that is, right? Okay, now before we wrap the day up, let's find out what our divine masculines, the divine masculine energy, remember to reiterate this. This is from the collective divine masculine energy. I know the majority of my audience, you know, our counterparts have chosen major karmic lessons right now, karmic paths. They have massive karmic cycles to break, generational curses, like I've said with my own. This is a major, I mean, when I saw that picture of him after because he didn't have the heart to tell me, he's experiencing so much shame, so much suffocation. I saw his picture and you could see just darkness around him. He's so beat down. He's so beat down. I mean, he knew this was coming and he drank every single day. It's kind of like, if you look at what actually causes addictions, you would see that it's actually an imbalance within ourselves. We're feeling as though we're not allowed to express. So we repress and we suppress, and we do this through, through these addictions that we have. Oh, I'm just going to attach onto that. I can't be who I want, so let me just subconsciously sabotage my life with this. So that's what we do. But yeah, so the divine masculine message is simply what the divine masculine wants to say to you, dear goddess. Wants to say to all of us divine feminines in terms of what we are being encouraged to focus on in our own journeys. Because it is about you reclaiming your power in your journey, as he must do the same in his. It doesn't mean he doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that that connection doesn't exist. It does. But that's the point, is you need to be focusing on the connection, not the attachment. So that said, what do our beloved divine masculines, or the beloved divine masculine energy, have to share with us? Ooh, sanctuary. We even had that on Sunday. Sanctuary, refuge, taking that time to go within yourself, to be connecting with your power within you, because power, to be reconnecting with your power in you. I just said this, lo and behold, exactly. Because it is about connecting with your power within yourself. All right? And that means to disconnect from things outside of you that are sucking your power from you, that are draining you. Right? It is about you reconnecting with your truth, because in that reconnection, in that coming into union, that's you coming into your power within yourself, because that's where your power is. It's inside you. that's where you have power. So that is, that right there, that sums it up. I feel that with the Divine Masculine, we just can't get any better than the power card right there. Oh my goodness. And that's exactly it. And look, I love this. Little dragon, look, the moon on there, and there's the goddess. Look, double ones. So boom, 11. Angel number 11. That is definitely, let us see here. What does 11? Because there's a reason. There's always a reason, goddess. Everything happens for a reason. So it is, I pick up that card, and that's when I catches my eyes as we're looking at it, and it's number 11. New beginnings and opportunities. You're here for big things. You are being prepared. That's exactly what I was saying. It's just not right now. You're being prepared. Your manifestation's being prepared. Your Divine Masculine's being prepared. That's the thing, is where we are right now, we're not there. We're not there. We're not at this level of expansion where we're fully aligned and fully receptive of divine, of harmonious physical union with our counterpart. Soul mission and life purpose, again, finding your passion, saying yes, answering the call. Wow. Time to focus on developing your gifts that will support humanity through the challenging times ahead, because yes, the old is crumbling, which means we must build the new, not build back better satanic agenda. I'm talking the entire matrix crumbling. And it's new earth rising, not new world order, new earth. Let go of any negativities, again, about yourself, any blocks that you have that are preventing from what you desire to flow in, right? Any stories you're telling, like again, for me, realizing, holy moly, I know where that's coming from. I see you, I see you. Now I really know how to heal you, kind of thing. Change is inevitable. The master number for teacher is number 11, and spiritual awakening. That is what this entire journey of expansion is about. It's an entire perpetual awakening journey. Hold on, I gotta pause and clear my throat here. Okay, got it. Now, here we go. Ditto, our other angel number. Do we have another one? Let's see what we have. This one, 12. So, 11, that's fascinating. 11 and 12. What is number 12? Just swipe. Oh, wow. So, we have number 11 that talks about supporting humanity through the challenging times ahead. We come to angel number 12. Challenges are guaranteed. Challenges are guaranteed because challenges are opportunities for growth, goddess. And I know the ego, believe me, mine's really been having a heyday with this one. I know the ego likes to be like, oh, I'm so done. I just want to just be left alone. Just leave me alone. I just want to sit here. Well, we don't grow without challenges. We don't expand without challenges. Our understanding doesn't deepen if we don't experience challenges, if we don't have these opportunities to grow in our strength and our wisdom and our knowing and our understanding, in that all that we are. Be more adaptable toward life, shift to a positive perspective, just like this one was saying, let go of any negativities, shift to a positive perspective. Oh my goodness, have faith. It's already yours. Oh my goodness. That's exactly what I'm saying, goddess. Oh wow, it's already yours. Just because it's not right this second doesn't mean it's not. And that is part of this test. And I know I very much can see what has to happen is, again, that to break down these belief systems and these barriers of bullshit that we have within us, so that we can get out of that and truly be liberated to be the fullest expression of who we are, to be fully expansive in this realm and fully expressive of that which is your uniquely divine light. right? Listen to your heart, follow your intuition. Wow. I love this today. I love when the angel numbers, just completely, I love that. When I first started incorporating angel numbers, and, everything is always divinely guided, of course, whenever anything is created and such. But when I created these things and got to where this was, to where we are now with how I bring these to us all, these empowerment messages, how I bring them forth, I love doing these because of that, because it just comes together and it just shows that there is an energy, there is something out there beyond what we can see, feel, touch. There is something supporting us and guiding us, and I know the ego can oftentimes try to convince you that you are alone, but you're never alone. It's no different than just allowing yourself to see the power within you. You've got to let yourself see it. Just as you've got to let yourself see you're not alone, you've got to let yourself see the possibility. All of this is temporary. Hold on, pain ends. All of this where humanity is right now, it's temporary. No, we're not going to end up in some tyrannical one world government. That's as much as they're trying to pull us into that. I mean, if you've seen Australia lately, or Austria, both of them are wow. It's appalling. It's absolutely appalling what's happening. And but that's the thing, is being able to look for where our power is, being able to step into our power and say, no, I will not give my power to you anymore. You do not control me. You don't get to dictate my life and tell me I have to stay in this box. This doesn't matter if it's a government or if it's your own freaking mind. If it lights you up, answer the call. Your soul is calling you to break free from this matrix. It's why you came here. To liberate yourself, to grow, to expand, to be way more than what you've ever been told you could be, or what you were allowed to be. Don't settle, goddess. Never fucking settle. Because in the realm of possibility, all things are possible. That said, goddess, thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, say yes to you, mother yourself, embody the energetic state of being of that which you desire to be attracting into your life. This is how you really, truly harness your power. Take it back from the mind. You be in control of you, not your mind. I'll see you next time, goddess. Go create amazing. The power is in your hands, because it always has been inside you. Namaste.